He says Pacquiao is blabbering in his mouth. It's another edition of Coffee with the Goose. Hi there. Good to have you back. And for your new viewers, welcome. I hope you like the program. We like to deal in, things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating. We hit all three. We cover a lot of different subjects. Lately, of course, it's boxing because we're big Manny Pacquiao fans. I think most people are. But we're going to talk a little politics. Yes, just a little, okay? Not going to get into it too much. But, of course, Pacquiao's a politician, too. But first, got to have a little coffee after all this Coffee with the Goose. My Java, my Mojo, my cup of Joe. Very strong, like my opinion. And got some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. Okay, here we go. Who are the two most popular people in the Philippines? That's easy. Manny Pacquiao, of course, the world championship boxer, and President Rodrigo Duterte. And for you non-Filipinos, pay heed. He is a very popular and very powerful politician. Now, Pacquiao, of course, the most popular boxer. Duterte, the most popular politician, but that's it. You don't want to cross that line because it's murky territory. Little background for you. Duterte is wrapping up his 6-year term as president of the Philippines, and he's done after 2022. He and Manny Pacquiao have been staunch allies since the beginning. Pacquiao, a big friend, big backer of Duterte's war on drugs, and that more than anything, I believe, makes Duterte so popular. Overwhelming, like 80%. I mean, it's huge. Because it works. You have to fight. You have to, take the bull by the horns, and he's done that. But things have turned sour. Why? Well, I'll give you a couple of examples. Number one, Manny Pacquiao has denounced corruption. Well, nothing wrong with that, but he went a step further. He said, I have proof, I have evidence that there's massive corruption on the federal level. Well, Duterte is the president, so you're taking a shot at him. And Duterte did not appreciate that. Pacquiao also criticized Duterte's what he called a very soft stance on communist China's bullying in the South China Sea. And of course, Duterte didn't appreciate that either. Not a whole lot you can do. China is very, very powerful. Militarily and economically. But at any rate, Pacquiao has made Duterte mad. What did Duterte say in response to Pacquiao? First of all, come up with the evidence. You're going to talk trash, make these accusations. Let's see the goods. Pacquiao has responded with, a lot of paperwork and a lot of evidence that he says shows the corruption. But, Duterte, he's not a man to be messed with. If you follow him at all, you don't want to, make this guy mad. He comes at you, he's very, very hard-headed. And I mean that respectfully. This man knows what he wants, and he's not going to back down. He's not going to willy-nilly and, just make things kiss and make up. That's not how Duterte is. He's a very strong guy. He said, and he's a master of what was I going to say? He's, he doesn't talk nice if you make him mad. He said Pacquiao, insults is what I was going to say. He says Pacquiao is blabbering in his mouth, and if he's going to sit in Congress, he should just sit in Congress and not go anywhere. He said, if you find corruption, then let's see it. And if you only report to Congress once or twice a month or every month or two and blah, 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 there are women and children watching. I'm not going to give you the rest of the statement because he lets it fly. And it's actually kind of funny, as long as it's not aimed at you, right? But they're not getting along now. Pacquiao, as you know, is a senator in the Philippines, and people have said that he's next in line for the presidency in 2022. A lot of people have said it's a sure thing. We know nothing's a sure thing in any realm, especially politics. You saw that in the United States here a year and a half ago. Psh, what a mess that was. But again, I'm not going to get into details. It's you know, politics and boxing are both very, very corrupt and very nasty. Watch your back. What do they say? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Yeah, you better watch yourself. And Pacquiao, I'm not going to say they're enemies now, but it doesn't look good. So anyhow, Pacquiao as president, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I make no predictions in politics, but it's interesting. The gist of the matter now is Pacquiao, is he able to concentrate? Is he distracted from his next match, which is, of course, against Errol Spence Jr. in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena on August 21st. Is he distracted? I don't know. Keep in mind, again, to you folks who are not Filipino or don't know Filipinos, distraction? They're never distracted. They're always juggling a million different things. At least my wife is. I can't keep up with her. I just stand back and let her do her magic. But in the social realm, Filipinos, they wake up with one hand on the phone and, texting and online, and, I can't keep up with them. Very sociable, very busy, and I am not going to say that Pacquiao is distracted to the point where he's not going to put on a good showing against Errol Spence Jr. We still have a lot of ground to cover. The fight is still over a month away. And by the way, we're going to be there. My great producer Jude and I, and our wives, and maybe a couple of kids as well. We're going to bring the Filipino contingent to Vegas and fly our flag, and we're going to have a great time and do a lot of interviews, and hopefully we'll get Pacquiao as well. It's going to be a great time. Oh, by the way, one other bit of boxing news for you, a fight that I was looking forward to, and I know many of you were, the trilogy, the third matchup between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder for a heavyweight title belt. It's not going to happen, at least not as originally scheduled on July 24th. Because Tyson Fury, no, he's not Superman after all. He's tested positive for COVID, so they called it off. That was going to be a great bout. The first, of course, was a draw, and the second one, the 32-year-old Tyson scored a TKO against Wilder in the 7th round. That was February of 2020, I should say. So, oh well, just have to wait. That'll probably happen in the fall. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. But we got a lot. The biggest fight, of course, this ain't even close, is in August in Las Vegas. And that's, of course, against the undefeated champion, welterweight champion, Errol Spence Jr., and the many 8-division champion, Manny Pacquiao, again, August 21st at T-Mobile Arena. That's going to be a great fight. Oh, by the way, I just checked I don't pay much attention to the betting area, but the odds have narrowed. And you know this is going to happen. This happens in most of Pacquiao fights. When they first announce the opponent, everyone thinks, not everyone, but most people say, oh, this guy's going to kill Pacquiao. Pacquiao's too old, too small, give a million reasons why he's going to lose, and overwhelming odds in favor of his opponent. And then as the fight draws near, the betting community, they realize, this is not a slam dunk for Pacquiao's opponent, and more often than not, the Pac-Man wins. At least that happened in his last fight against Keith Thurman. Keep this in mind. Pacquiao may be 42. I'm not going to make a prediction, not yet. A lot of people have. I'll do that as we draw closer to the fight. But this is a pick-em. These are two great fighters. I could sit here right now and give you a lot of different reasons why Spence could win, and he can win, or Pacquiao can win, and he can win as well. It's a great matchup. Two left-handers, two champions, two very strong knockout artists. It's going to be a great matchup. I want to know what you guys have to think, okay? Read the comments all the time. I learn a little bit from you guys, most of you guys anyhow. And it's going to be great. It's, this is not an easy win for either guy. And Pacquiao is now in LA. He's been there for a few days now training, and he don't look like he's 42. He said earlier that he's going to take advantage of his quickness and his speed, and he's much quicker than Errol Spence Jr. So if that's the case, well, I'm not going to stop. No, not going to make a prediction. It's so tempting. But when I do make a prediction, I want to make sure that I've got all my ducks in a row and I can back it up with some facts, you know. Anyhow, there you go. It's Pacquiao and Errol Spence Jr. The fight is still on, despite a little lawsuit issue not long ago. You knew that wasn't going to amount to anything. Pacquiao has very strong legal representation, and they just swept that aside, no problem. They're concentrating not on a silly lawsuit, not on politics, I don't think. They're concentrating on the task at hand, and it's a monumental task, the undefeated Errol Spence Jr. Anyhow, that's still to come. We have many more shows to come. That's it for this edition of Coffee with the Goose. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and many thanks to you subscribers. Talk to you again soon.